Let's roll, nerds. Who do we have here, Greg?
Mr. Zenon, Your Honor.
Visit PC, Your Honor. I have some questions.
Oh, you picked up a new case. I'm sorry, I'm just getting wind of this now. I didn't realize this. He just picked this up.
My client or the person?
Yeah, him. Picked up an interference 2 days ago.
That's what I'd like to revisit.
Yeah, of course. So you were on felony probation for a very serious case, evading arrest in a motor vehicle, which carries up to 10 years in prison. Now you've picked up a new case. Greg, I got to tell you that I don't know how much you know, but I have quite a bit of history with Mr. Zenon here. In fact, within the last 2.5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now he's on his 10th case, specifically an unlawful carrying of a weapon, another unlawful carrying of a weapon, another unlawful carrying of a weapon, another unlawful carrying of a weapon, a felony possession of marijuana, felony assault of a pregnant person. And I guess all that worked into a deal where he got on probation for an evading. And now we have.
Right, but all those cases were dismissed, correct, Your Honor? Okay,
Pursuant to the, I guess,
I understand.
that we literally had one after the
Understand.
other, like a rung on a step ladder. One after the other.
And-
So let's do probable cause.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. I just wanted to give you a heads up of how much history we have with Mr. Zenon, because it's a lot.
I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Sure.
But be that as it may,
I'm not going to hold, I've never will hold anything against him. So let's go.
On December 3rd, 2024, officers were dispatched to the HEB located at 4955 State Highway 6 regarding a disturbance in progress. Officers received 4 calls, all from witnesses who stated the defendant was arguing with and assaulting a female. While en route to the location, officers observed the couple at the intersection about 0.1 miles away from the HEB where the original call was
Observed what?
located. They saw the couple at the intersection.
Okay, they saw. Okay.
Yes, Judge. The defendant was uncooperative with officers. The defendant advised he and the complainant were involved in a verbal altercation and stated he threatened her, saying he would slap her. When officers advised the defendant that he was in custody for an outstanding warrant, he got upset and began to yell. Officers located a clear plastic bag containing 3.6 grams of marijuana. The defendant refused to comply with officers' commands to sit down and would not place his legs and feet inside the vehicle. The defendant pushed back against the officer's hand with his chest when he attempted to help him into the vehicle, pushed his legs straight and applied force toward officer's hand in an attempt to stop him from placing his legs inside the vehicle, and then used the bottom of his foot against the bottom of the door frame to further resist. The defendant refused to speak with officers and would not cooperate with the investigation. All witnesses on scene heard the defendant threaten to hit CW, and another witness stated she observed the defendant push the complainant in the chest and face with 2 open hands. He does have an active felony warrant from the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
But he has an open ag assault somewhere else too?
In Fort Bend County, Judge.
my understanding is it's
And
an
it was
older
open
case.
warrant at that time?
Yes, Judge.
May I respond to all this, Your Honor?
Sure, please.
Where's the interference? Okay.
Well, they're putting him in a car and he's like going
How-
plank.
It's not interference with public duties. If they're sitting there saying they have a marijuana charge they could have done, is it a resisting? Maybe,
So,
but it's not an interference with the public duties. They said he didn't talk. He doesn't have to talk to them. Like, and they're
I understand
and they're a 0.1 mile away from the location
So-
for what?
Well, okay, I get that, but so we have what we have. We've got a disturbance at HEB. Cops go there.
Okay.
They start to talk to him, and I guess at that point says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna slap her." So at that point, I mean, that's what we have,
Okay.
right, Mr. Zenon? There's always 2 sides to the story. I get it. This is just probable cause. It doesn't mean that you're guilty of this offense. It's just probable cause. That in and of itself, is it enough to continue an investigation? And it is, because it's a potential terroristic threat, right? So they have enough to go forward to investigate. They start investigating, and then they find that you have a felony open warrant. And then they find there was something else that, was there another warrant that you said?
It's the aggravated assault, but Judge, I also would like to point out that the.
But
as
they end
part-
up putting him in the car. And at that point, he basically just goes plank like this for them being unable to effectuate an arrest.
And Judge,
I don't think that's an interference.
I don't. I mean, I think the intent of the law within itself is that if you're interfering with their investigation for something else. He did not interfere with anything.
Hold on, let's read the code. Let's read it, because, I mean, there's no better way. Let's read it.
Hold on.
I'll give you, All right, hold on. Let's pull up the code.
Intake could have taken some other things, but
Well, certainly, they could have
Okay.
taken a whole myriad of, I mean, you're lucky they didn't charge you with assault of a peace officer. There's a whole host of other charges that they could have put on, you know? If,
they didn't,
Hit.
they took the one that I do not believe applies here.
let's read the code.
Okay.
Let's see what the code says, because, you know, there's multiple ways that a charge can, you know, that you can charge someone with facts, right? There's multiple ways that can, it's 3815.
That's okay, don't worry.
You're right. It could have been like a resisting, you know, but. Okay, you ready? A person commits an offense if the person with criminal negligence interrupts, disrupts, impedes, or otherwise interferes with, number one, a peace officer while the peace officer is performing a duty or exercising authority imposed or granted by law. Two, a person who is employed to provide emergency medical services, a firefighter. Number three, for an animal under supervision. Now, so I guess it's a person, it interrupts, disrupts, impedes, or otherwise interferes with, number one, a peace officer while the peace officer is performing a duty or exercising authority imposed or granted by law.
That is the vaguest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, come on.
It is. I agree
Okay,
with
so
you.
the cop can claim anything is interfering with public duties. I mean, constitutionally, that is the vaguest thing I've ever heard of.
Judge, that's the statute, that's the penal code.
You'll find no argument with me, right? It is pretty vague.
Yeah.
It is.
He's got bigger issues. I mean, they should have taken the other charges, my whole point. I mean,
But he's disrupting the officer while he's trying to discharge a duty, right? The officer's trying to arrest him and put him in the car, and he's not letting him do it.
I mean, that's assuming they even had the right to do that. I mean, he's 0.1
It's an
miles
open
away.
felony warrant.
They didn't even know about the warrant. They didn't know about the warrant till after. So, I mean, that comes after all of this.
They're saying, go ahead. I didn't even give you a chance to talk.
No, you're okay,
Please.
Judge. They were investigating the assault, Judge, is what or the threat that he admitted to making. So it was an active investigation, and then when they were detaining him, he was resisting arrest, is what it seems like. And that's why it was charged with interference with public servant.
And there were also 4 911 calls that were made about this couple arguing. I
Mhm.
mean, that's what they were investigating.
And the witnesses all
They
described.
put
the-
him,
the
I guess,
defendant.
did they put him under arrest at the time when he said that he was making that threat?
And with being.
I mean, did they
0.11
have the authority to arrest at that time? Right?
So I think it was during their investigation, the defendant admitted to threatening, that he would slap Miss Clark.
And it's at that point they start to put him under arrest.
At that point, they ran him through the NCIC and they found that there was an active warrant, and then they informed him that he was in custody.
Okay, then that's a resisting from what they're using to say he's pushing back or
But
pushing.
remember,
That's
I
a
mean,
resist.
it-
That's not
it
interference
could
with public
be-
duties.
But it could be that a set of facts can be multiple charges, right? So it could be resisting, but it could also theoretically be interfering with what he's trying to effectuate with, which is an arrest. It's a duty that he's performing. He's performing the duty of an arrest.
But again, it's vague. It's if the officer didn't put in the report, he's not saying in the dim summary, you are under arrest.
We don't-
Well, I mean, it's,
Okay, well, I mean, but so
I mean,
this
we
is,
don't know. I mean,
okay, I'm just saying.
if he says he's under arrest, but I mean, damn, it's all but clear.
I mean, this is,
We also
And
don't
yes.
have the offense report
We
yet,
don't
I
have
Judge.
don't
Offense
care. I
report. He
mean,
was in
but
the
I think that
process.
there's enough, you know, he's under, he places him in custody, right? He's going to arrest him, starts putting him in the car, and dude goes plank.
Oh, I see. I know, but I don't have the video.
I
I've
mean, I
shared the
think that-
videos with.
Remember-
You're right, I haven't had a chance.
Guys, this is a very low burden. This is probable cause. This is not beyond a reasonable doubt, you know? Beyond a reasonable doubt is a different standard. This is just to see if there's enough to go forward. And according to this, you're disrupting, allegedly, you're impeding, and you're otherwise interfering with him trying to arrest you and putting you in the car. A person can interfere with duties in multiple ways. It's not just one way. Like you go over there and someone else tries to stop an arrest from happening. I don't know. I think that there's enough.
Whisper to me because I want to know what you're about to say.
And if you want time, you guys can go back and talk.
Okay, well, I gotta say,
Called 3 times to search me.
can I have a moment to look at the video? You know, he's telling me a whole separate fact pattern.
But I need to give them time to be able to look at it too. I mean, it's noon. Why don't we do this? Why don't we roll it to Monday and we can, I'll find it now. We can reapproach Monday morning or tomorrow even. And if you find, you know,
I mean, because I
if you
want-
find a completely set of different facts than to what they're saying on video, I'm all ears. I'm always all ears. I'm always willing to rehear probable cause at any time. I mean, it's not the be all end all. But for now, what they're telling me, if it in fact is the case, there's enough for probable cause to go forward. Is there enough beyond a reasonable doubt? I don't know. But be that as it may, you know, okay, it looks like they didn't give him a PR bond on this.
Okay, so well, then we
The
address it.
bond right now is set at 2,500.
Okay,
Your bond upstairs is set at 5,000. Tell me about that Fort Bend case. Is it old? Is it new?
Let me check, Judge.
I think it's 2023.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, because it looks like you got on probation in October of this year. When you're on probation, dude, on felony probation, you have a freaking halo over your head. You know, you got to be as good as you can. You're facing a lot of time in prison. Have you been to prison before?
Sir. No, sir.
It's not a fun place, you know, and I don't know what we need to do to get your attention, man. In life, if you're with a person that brings the worst out in you, then don't be with that person. There's a gajillion and one fish in the sea, but how can a person get you so wrapped around your finger to make you, you know, just go. It's like a cancer. When you have cancer, if you don't cut it out, it kills you. This is killing you.
I can contact Fort Bend Judge and get more information.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. I'll do whatever you want to do. You want to set
I mean-
tomorrow, Monday, what in?
I'll
I'm
watch
happy.
it today and come back tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, surely.
I mean,
Do you have it?
have the camera, or the body cam.
I just shared
Okay,
it.
so
They
let's-
shared it, they just shared it with me.
Yep.
let's roll it to tomorrow. You guys take a look at the video as well, be prepared, and then we can reconvene tomorrow. For purposes of now, I'll find probable cause, and then we can regroup again tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, Mrs. Zenon, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
I'm back on Mr. Xenon from yesterday.
Okay. Morgan, I don't, is this yours? Remember, we're back on Xenon, or?
I'm gonna agree to disagree here.
I would like for you to watch like the 2 minutes of the video that I think.
So Judge, I also, because you had this question yesterday, I called Fort Bend and they confirmed it. The Fort Bend County aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, it's just sealed, and that's why I didn't pop up.
It's
for
just
it.
what?
It's sealed at the moment.
Sealed. Is it a new case? Is it an
It
old
was
case?
just filed in November, Judge,
Wow.
but the offense date was in March.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. It was the offense date was March of 24.
Yes,
So it was allegedly committed prior to, now nevertheless, it's still a
it
warrant,
was,
but how on earth has it never been?
it's because, so they'll unseal it whenever an arrest happens, Judge. The case was filed. He had 2 other charges in this county, even that he caught even after that one.
I'm so confused. You know that there's a, Fort Bend knows that there's a felony warrant, a dangerous felony warrant, and they failed to execute that warrant over and over. He's been on probation. He's been
But
meeting with his,
Reading in here that he's got on 2 years probation for, and then had also a UCW here that he caught after that. And another assault of a pregnant person that he caught here after that, and then another UCW that he caught here after that. So he had just a string of cases, and I mean, the list goes on. But there was just a string of cases that he caught even after that, so I guess they just never, I don't know.
I will tell you the shenanigans from my experience that Fort Bend does. So if they think they're going to TDC, I have seen them let them go to TDC, wait till they even make parole or discharge or finish that sentence, right? And then they're out and they go, oh, now we're gonna file you. And then parole goes, oh, now we're gonna revoke your parole. Those are the shenanigans that I've seen.
Judge, I
And this has
can't-
been going on for years out there, like prior administration continuing.
but I mean, I guess ultimately at the end of the day, even if that happens, like, let's just say the parole board's gonna look and see that it was like extremely old, right? Correct.
If he
Right.
pays.
On video, guys, like I watched it. I'm not crazy, like this, it's on video.
Sorry to keep
Let's
debating.
talk to Judge about it.
Okay. You're still upset?
Yes, I watched the video and I'm even more upset, Judge.
So Judge, we just want to address some of the questions that defense and you had yesterday. Defense was saying that he felt that interference statute was overbroad. We found case law saying that it's, or vague, that it's unconstitutionally vague. We found case law saying that it's not unconstitutionally vague. It's from DeContal versus State. I've tendered it to defense. Can I
Sure,
approach
of
Judge?
course. I gotta imagine that if it was unconstitutionally vague, someone would have challenged it and it would have,
Well, maybe I haven't had my case yet.
Okay.
and, I'm happy for you to make new law, always.
Judge, did I hand you DeContal versus State? I did, just,
The Canto,
yes.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, look, it's out of Court 8 in Harris County. So why are you saying that there's no PC in this case?
Is there PC for something else? Yes. Is there for the interference with public duties? No. I mean, because it's on video, it didn't happen, Judge. Like, so they get calls for an assault, a disturbance, whatever.
You're telling me the fact that they're saying he goes plank in the car while
He
he's
doesn't.
being arrested
He
doesn't
does
happen?
not go plank. It's on video, Judge.
Would they say he uses his, I guess he uses
He's in
his,
handcuffs.
The officer has to place his hand on the chest of the defendant to get the defendant to sit back in the car. He also has to grab his legs and push them back into the car. We also watched the video.
We watched the video and we have a timestamp, Judge.
could it be that okay, so I know that a lot of times when they're putting a defendant into the car, they need help, right? They're unable to do it by themselves, or is he actively resisting getting into the car?
He he tried exiting the vehicle, Judge, and
No,
that's
he-
why they had to push him back into it.
He leans forward, he's yelling at his mom, record, call. The third time they have taken him out. This is 3 times. They put him in the car and they take him out so they can search him. The cop is sitting there going, oh, well, search him again. We can search him 20 times. If you feel you need to search him 20 times, search him 20 times for your safety. The cop doesn't even know what he's charging him with. DA hasn't been caught. The cop's sitting there going, we're getting you for resisting transport. Resisting transport. That is what the cop thinks he's taking him at. DA, Officer Singh, it's a 27-minute video. Okay? At no point is the DA's office called to this point. Okay? That happens after. Fine. For an assault, they can argue. I can argue case law. Ford v. State, specific articulable facts of crime may have occurred. Fine. They are there on an assault. Okay? They didn't take an assault. So then they detain him, right? They find that he has the warrant. So, okay, you're taking him in on the warrant. Fine.
Judge, it's
It's all-
common for officers to conduct an investigation before they call intake. That's not an abnormal
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, that's neither here nor there, but the question is he impeding the arrest or the function of arrest? Because I guess that you guys are basing the interference on the fact that he's not allowing him that, what's his name again?
Xenon, Your Honor.
Mr. Xenon is not allowing the officer to arrest him by putting him in the car.
Respectfully, Judge, the officer doesn't even have to be arresting him. They just have to be looking into any legitimate matter. And then he's interfering with that. And I will say, if he'd already been in the car 3 times, like defense pointed out, I would think he wouldn't need help getting in. So to us, it appears as though he's trying to push out. The officer has to put his hand on his chest to push him back into the car and then take his legs and place them into the car.
He was cooperative the whole time. He's on his mom. If anyone's aggressive, it's the cop from the beginning.
Judge, the
And
cop-
I asked at the court's discretion, watch the video. You only need to watch like 2 minutes, the 13 to 15-minute mark, Your Honor. I mean, that's all you really need to watch on this.
Judge,
Watch or no?
We can watch the video, Judge.
Cue it up. Let's watch. Can you put it on the screen somehow? So we can all watch?
we can just go to the back and watch it. Do you want to hook it up?
No,
I
why
don't,
not?
because he has issues hooking his computer up to the technology. Yeah, it's this one.
Judge, did you want to watch the whole video or did you?
No,
want to?
just the relevant portion. I don't need to see the whole thing. No, just that part that's relevant. You know, I guess if you wouldn't just put it right there and just turn it around,
Yeah, just put it
just
up
right
there.
on the table. Yeah, right there. And set it.
I'm just turning the volume up, Judge, as well.
He talking about don't let him pull up. They talking about I got a warrant out for Fort Bend County for assault. Look, he pushing me. Mama, record me. Mama, look, record him.
Now you're under arrest.
I'm under arrest.
Yep,
for
you got
what?
a new charge, Bubba. Resisting transport.
Resisting? I wasn't resisting.
You just resisted transport. Yep.
What the hell is that?
Now you got a new charge. Yep.
Come on.
Thank you, Judge.
Really? That's it?
That's it, Your Honor.
That's the relevant portion that defense is.
Oh, come on.
The officer is investigating legitimate.
I know, but no. All right, I'm
Do
with
you
you.
see why I'm so upset, Your Honor?
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You can refile this as resisting.
Yeah, look, yeah, I mean, you're not gonna hurt our feelings. You need to do what you need to do. Perhaps it was the wrong one, but yeah, was it resisting?
Nope.
My name is Bennett and I ain't in it. But no PC.
Thank you, Your Honor.